Hi guys, I wanted to show you today how to kind of create a pattern out of your shoe. Remember, we're going to be making this shoe out of clay, so we kind of need to start with a pattern that we can use. And just, putting your shoe on the clay is not always ideal, so we're going to make it out of paper. If you have any kind of like heavy paper, this works best. Like this was just an old folder that I had, but regular lined paper will work too. It's just if you have anything that's a little bit heavier, it just makes it a little bit easier on you. So what you're going to do is you're basically going to take your shoe, whatever shoe you want to use. Remember, we did go over a few things in class about you can't do flip-flops, but other than that, you can pretty much do any shoe. So tennis shoes work great. You can do heels, you can do sandals, pretty much anything. And the first thing you want to do is you want to trace the outline of the bottom of your shoe. And then you have to kind of get a little creative and you are going to trace all the other parts too. Okay, and just be kind of careful, like if you're using a Sharpie, you don't necessarily want to get this all over your shoe. So it didn't come out perfect, but it came out good enough, okay? And so now maybe for the sides of my shoes, I can just kind of lay it down. And again, I'm not going to get everything, but I can definitely get part of it. And it's not going to be real straight and stuff like that, but we can kind of make up some of it. So this can kind of come over here. And then I'll just finish this line off. So I want something like that. And so I would have two of those. I might have to do like the tip of the shoe right here. So just kind of going around that, or maybe I'll just do it like this. You can't do the laces and stuff like that, but you can do a lot of it. Okay, so the next thing you would want to do is you're going to cut this out. Okay, so I don't have all the pieces, but I already have them cut out. So you would cut all of these out, okay, which I already have them done. And then you have all of these little pieces. Now, part of your requirement for the assignment is I want you just to kind of lightly tape these together and then take a little picture of it, and then we can take it apart and you'll be using this as kind of your template for your shoe. And the one thing is paper's actually harder to use than actually the real thing, or leather or using clay. So it's actually gonna be a little bit harder for you to do this than to actually create the whole thing. So I'm just gonna kind of lay everything down. Clay tends to kind of wrap around and curve and stuff really nicely, whereas it's a little bit harder with this paper, but we can make it work. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of tape. You don't need a lot. Remember, you just have to take a little quick picture. So a little bit of tape on this. Let's see, I might have to adjust it a little bit. So bring this up and I'll put, a little piece of tape right here. Put it over so you can see what I'm doing. And again, it's just kind of long enough to make sure that it makes a nice, good shoe shape. And then you can take it apart and actually use it on the clay. Okay, so it kind of looks like that on the inside. One thing that I did notice is like I cut out, kind of the tip of the shoe, and it was way too small. Like there's no way that's going to wrap around. So I made another one and I made it bigger so that it could kind of wrap around. Because really, this would go all the way down to the sides there, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tape that on. Same thing for the back of the shoe. Whenever I actually used the shoe as the template, it ended up being a little bit too small. Like this was the back part of the shoe, this was the front, and they were too small. Okay, and then we would have our like little tongue right here. Okay, and that would be enough to kind of take a little picture of it. Get it where you guys can see it. Okay, so again, you just need to take a little picture of it and submit that for the assignment, and then we can take this whole thing apart and we will have a template for our shoe without getting our shoe all dirty and messy. Okay, alrighty.